Hey there, folks. It's Adam here with a little live stream. We normally don't go live during winter storms, but in this particular case, we decided to go for it. So, look at this monster of a storm. I mean, happy family day to everybody as well too. And yeah, there's just a boatload of snow coming. I want to go through some of the forecast maps to try to clear up what some folks had regarding questions, and try to take as many questions as I can. But let me jump in the comments here and see how everybody is doing. But yeah, I normally just go live during, of course, tornadoes, dangerous, severe thunderstorms. That's usually the case, but we wanted to, yeah, go live for this particular event and talk about these forecast maps. So, hi everybody in the comments there. How are you doing? We're live everywhere, so a lot of different places. So I should be getting comments from all different platforms. It should be exciting. And if all else fails, I'll break out the acoustic guitar and play some songs. So that's usually what happens when all else fails here. So Hamilton is in blizzard right now. Somebody just said, whoa. This is what Chris just said here. He says a blizzard right now in Hamilton. So hopefully those in the Hammer are doing okay with that particular storm. You know, this can be dangerous in some ways because we have power outages that can happen. We have, you know, terrible driving conditions is going to be a likely thing. So if you do have to travel, hopefully you don't, but if you do, first off, thank you so much for being on the front line. And secondly, drive safe if you can out there, because it looks pretty intense for sure. Let me just zoom it in a bit here. I'm just running this on my my iPad here on our app, Instant Weather. And thank you to all those who have downloaded it and are enjoying it. We really appreciate it. And let's see, Collingwood forecast says Jen. There's a whole bunch of different ones. I just saved them to my iPad here, and I'm going to swipe through them, and we can discuss it and going through different totals. And this is an interesting event because regular weather models are actually underestimating the snowfall. We think the snowfall is going to be pretty significant because the ratios are so much stronger. So normally weather models just say, you know, if there's 1 millimeter of rain, then there's 1 centimeter of snow. It's a 10 to 1 ratio. But in this particular case, it looks like the ratios are much higher. So we think the snowfall is going to be pretty significant. So we'll have to see how that occurs. So Jen asked for a Collingwood forecast. Thank you, Jen. I'll try to get to that. I have so many images. I mean, I'm sure you've seen Brennan's forecast, but there's a lot to get through. And our apologies to some folks. There's a few things to clear up here. First, we made a post about this earlier, but firstly, Southern Ontario covers Eastern Ontario. So Southern Ontario is anything from like North Bay down. So if you're in Ottawa, it's still under the Southern Ontario umbrella. However, it's referred to as Eastern Ontario all the time. So if you're in Southern Ontario, it is Eastern Ontario. But if you back up and you go all the way where you can see Thunder Bay, you know, you can see Sault Ste. Marie, then it would be under the Southern Ontario label. So when Brennan's referring to Southern Ontario, he means everyone south of North Bay. That is Southern Ontario. There's also Southwestern Ontario, and I think that's where the confusion actually happens, because everybody thinks when we're saying Southern Ontario, we're actually referring to, you know, London, referring to Windsor, those areas. That's Southwestern Ontario. So hopefully that clears it up a little bit. Probably not, but we'll try our best here to make things a little more clear. There's like 1,000 comments here. So Jazz is asking already for Bookend Vortex, the classic song that came out of the blue a long time ago. But yeah, I might have to break out the Bookend Vortex at some point in time. It's catchy too. Let's see here. Everybody's saying it's coming down. Snowy and windy. It's a whiteout in Brampton, says Janine. Let's see here. Sarnia got it, says Brandy. Let's see, nothing in SS, says Kelly. It's coming. It's on its way there right now. So this is past and future radar. So you can see now that we're into the future, it's going further and further north. But when we were in the actual historical radar, that's when it's just making its way now into parts of Simcoe County and further to the north. So we will see. Let's see here. Nothing in Kincardine yet, says Belinda. Thank you very much. It's nice to see these live reports, though. It's really great. I mean, I know we're just talking about a snowstorm, but you know, when it's time for tornado season, just looking at those comments and seeing somebody say, "I just saw a funnel cloud," or you know, that real-time reporting is super essential. So, thank you very much for all those who are mentioning it. Allie says Leamington is blowing badly as well. Thank you very much, Allie. So, lots of comments here. I just want to try to go through as many questions as I can. Hamilton is bad, somebody said. That's not good. Guelph coming down as well. Holy moly, I can't even keep up with these. They're moving so fast. Thank you to everybody for all your different comments. We're live everywhere. We're live. Instant Weather Ontario on Facebook, Ontario Tornado Watch, Ontario Blizzard Watch on Facebook. We're live on, where else here? We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter. And we are live, where else? Oh, the Instant Weather app group and the beta group. So we went, oh, and Instant Weather Canada. We went to town. Everywhere. And look at me, I didn't even get dressed, just a Roots thing. I should probably wear a nice shirt next time. But anyways, it's midwinter streaming time, so it's okay. It should be fine. Okay, so somebody said Buffalo's really bad right now. Snowing in Wasaga Beach, says Valerie. Yeah, so it's pushing to the north. For sure. And now I want to get to Brendan's maps here. So this is the radar and the future radar. If you'd like to check that out, then you can download our free app called Instant Weather. Just go to instantweatherapp.com and you can click on Android or Apple and get that for free. So let me just flip over. I want to jump into Brendan's maps here, and because there's just so many to look at, really. Let me see if that'll show up. There we go. And now, can I get that a bigger? Let's see if I can get that bigger. I'll just go full screen with it. Why doesn't that want to go perfectly full screen? Is there something I'm doing wrong? It'd be nicer if I could get that a lot larger, but for some reason that seems to be the case. Now, can I zoom it in from that part? Yeah, I could do that. Okay, cool. All right, so that's the main forecast there from Brendan, and there is also some confusion regarding why our forecast map has different totals from the app. So they use two completely different forecasting systems, which makes it good, I think, because you get to see how they compare, how close they are. Sometimes they're very close and sometimes they're far off of each other. So we feel the app, as far as snowfall is concerned, it's a little bit underestimating, especially with these bigger events and especially with these higher ratios. So that's something we plan to address. But in the case of what we're seeing in the models, it looks, if you're going by higher ratio values, then it looks very impressive as far as snowfall. I mean, we'll have to see what the density is of it, but I think some of the totals are going to be pretty high from what I've seen. So we'll see how it goes down, especially right along the lakes, the Great Lakes there. So right along Lake Ontario and right along Lake Erie, it's going to be pretty intense for sure. So that was the first forecast map. Oh, we did some zooming in here as well too. Side note, if you're looking at this on your mobile phone and you're holding it vertically, if you turn it to the side, you'll be able to see the map a bit bigger. And if for some reason this is still too small for you, please just go to our Facebook page or our Twitter page or Instagram and look for the forecast, because I think it's pinned right to the top, and you'll be able to see these maps yourself. So a lot of people just see the image that we post with the full article, but if you click that, it opens up, and then Brendan's posting multiple maps on every forecast, multiple timeline images, but everybody just sees that first timeline image and says, how come my area is not on there? There's like 5 more to look at. So we'll get through these here as well too. So as you can see, the red area, which is highlighted along Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, it has the highest potential from 20 to 35 centimeters, 8 to 14 inches. And when we say locally, we get that question a lot as well too. What does locally mean? Locally means you can have just little isolated bands of snow that are stronger than their counterparts. So most of the areas will get somewhere between the range of the 20 to 35, for instance, in the red. So that would be the majority of folks, some closer to 20, some closer to 35. And then there's going to be a few reports out of that area we think that could top 35 centimeters. So that's basically what that means. Locally just means there's probably a couple reports in there, but that's not the majority. The majority would be somewhere in the middle of 20 and 35 if we averaged it out. So that's kind of our thinking with that. Hopefully that clears that up a little bit. Here is deep southwestern Ontario into the GTA. Windsor at the bottom left there, you can see Amherstburg, Essex, Leamington. Windsor always feels, there's so many folks in Windsor, I can tell why, because you're right on the edge of the international border. I'm sure Cornwall feels the same way. They always feel left out, but we love our folks down in Windsor. We love southwestern Ontario. We cover it all the time, especially during storm season, because that's where the majority of it is. And yeah, please click on the map or click on the article and zoom into the bottom left. You're there. So there's a lot of folks that think we leave them out, but sometimes those images get cropped and you don't see the bottom left. So we love you down there as well too. Here's a little bit further to the north. Side note, kudos to Brendan for actually taking a deep dive into color science, and we were getting a lot of from folks who are colorblind. They were actually pretty confused when it came to our maps, because once we ran it through the colorblind checker, you could see that a lot of the colors would just blend together as the same color. So that must have been incredibly frustrating, but Brennan's done a deep dive now, and all of these should look like individual separate colors. And of course he puts the numbers right on the map, right? So that does help for sure. So thank you to Brennan for doing that. We posted this earlier. This was the, sometimes you just look at traffic and you can see what a storm is doing. So it was at that point in time when Brennan posted this was a while ago, it was still mostly green in southern Ontario, but as you can see where the storm is affecting, traffic has gone to garbage. So, and there's probably not that much traffic on the road, but obviously you're having a lot of accidents. This is the bus cancellation outlook. I don't think I've ever seen it this pink in all of our, I don't think this is, Brennan said it, this is probably the most pink we've ever done. So that is where he's expecting there to be almost certain, so 90% bus cancellations. Don't quote us on this. We are not the authority. This is just our best guess at what could happen. So it's very possible that some of these pink areas, there's still school going on, but we'll see. This is a pretty nasty storm. So hopefully there are some cancellations with it, just because we don't want folks out there. This map caused a lot of confusion. So this is the National Weather Service in the U.S., a lot of their products, they just cut anything that is not in the U.S. out of it. So it's very possible that this product that they do have the data that goes into Southern Ontario, but they just have this natural way of putting a border on stuff, in some cases because they don't want to step on the toes of Environment Canada, which is fair. And so when we post this, it's not stopping at the border. So just try to extrapolate those colors. You can see where the swath of red is going. Let me try to go the other way. So it's going this way. You can tell that it's going to cover Windsor, it's going to cover London, it's going to cover Hamilton, probably Toronto, Kingston. And then, so you can kind of see the red is spreading, Niagara for sure, that way. And then the orange, you kind of just have to extrapolate it. So I'm sure this image caused a lot of confusion. There's a lot of folks saying, oh, it's too bad it stops at the border and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, yeah, it's funny how that works. So let me just flip back to, I still wanted to check a couple things here, actually, if this will clear up. Good, good, good. And what else was there? The timeline images as well, too. Okay, so this is the image probably that was posted as the main image. But if you click on that article, you can see that we have many, many more. So again, big kudos to Brennan for putting the time. He went to town with these as well too. Another way to check the timing is in our free app. You can actually go to the hours product. So it's kind of nice because you can put in, your city or your postal code. You can actually search your exact address usually, depending on what search system we're using at that time. But you should be able to do either your address or at least your town, at least your postal code to get really refined. Or if you have location services on, it'll know exactly where you are. So that makes it easier to know exactly what the forecast is for your spot, because forecasts can vary even from one side of town to the other. I know in Barrie here, the north end of town will be obliterated by snow and the south end will be like a tropical paradise and vice versa. So that stuff does happen in a lot of locations, and that is something to consider for sure. So, okay, I wanted to jump into the comments though and see if there was questions for particular areas. Austin says snowing hard in Ingersoll. Thank you very much, Austin. If you don't know where Ingersoll is, it is right near Woodstock, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see here. So I was trying to look at Grimsby bad right now, says Jeff. Thank you very much. Oh, I brought up Steve's. Steve says, is Peterborough in the 35 plus? That's a good question, Steve. I will check that right now. Liam, our buddy there, he says Hamilton Mountain, nothing currently other than light flurries. Thank you so much. Crazy wind, says Tracy in LaSalle. Haven't seen a storm like this in a long time. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the winds are obviously going to be a problem as well when it comes to visibility on the road. It would be pretty terrible. So I just wanted to check that question from Steve before I forget about it, because you know me, I'll start talking about something else and then forget whatever question I just had. So let's see where Peterborough is with that map. So this one looks like the closest to be able to know, or is it just Peterborough is just in the red in Brennan's map there. So you're kind of in these situations where you're kind of on the border between the two areas. flip a coin as far as which way it's going to go. Sometimes these storms at the last second can surge a little bit to the north, and in that particular case, you would be dealing, obviously, with a little bit more. But that's just, it's circumstantial. Depends on which way the wind blows in that exact area at that exact time, so we'll see. But as far as this map is concerned, Peterborough and Havelock are both within the 20 to 35. So hopefully that clears that up for you, Steve. Thank you for the question. If you have any more questions as far as your exact area, please let me know. And yeah, that should, I'll try my best to go over it, to tell you what, alerts you're under from Environment Canada and where you are in regards to our forecast maps. So Jim says, come on, Adam, say hello to Emily and Jim in Chatham, Ontario. Hi, Jim. Hi, Emily. How are you? Good to see you. Sue says, oh, I'm trying to, so hard to click on these comments. They're going so fast. Okay. Sue says, never hear about lake effect snow in Kingston like when, I assume she means when I was a kid. That's interesting, because when you're driving back, like I had to go to Ottawa for a presentation a couple of years back. And when I was driving back through Kingston, the lake effect coming off of Lake Ontario, it went from pure visibility to absolute whiteout. And I got to experience that firsthand. I think I actually went live because it was such a bad whiteout. And I started to go live, and I was just sitting in a parking lot. And then when I finally started driving, there were so many comments that came up that said, please stop driving at this point. Or please stop live streaming while you're driving. And I was like, that's probably a good idea. So I stopped it. So try to be on the safe side of things for sure. Being distracted is not a good thing, especially in those conditions, of course. And yeah, I'm definitely not the perfect driver. Maybe one day when I get we got a Cybertruck, it'll drive itself or something. Let's see here. No snow in Midland yet. Thank you very much. Here we go. We finally got some questions here. So Chris says, how much is Corunna, Ontario getting near Sarnia? So if it's near Sarnia, and I probably pronounced that wrong, Corunna? I think that might be it. I'm switching. I got some Lego flowers for my wife here, but anyways, let's go. This is what happens when I'm in my photo role. So Sarnia, as far as this map is concerned, is right on the border between red and purple. So purple being 15 to 25 centimeters, and the red being 20 to 35. So split the difference there, and maybe 25 centimeters. It's hard to say for sure, but maybe 25 centimeters. I'm sure our app is a little bit on the lower end of that scale, as it's, again, as we mentioned in the beginning of the stream, that the app is a little bit underestimated as far as the snowfall with these type of events where the ratios are much higher. But our forecast maps are usually pretty bang on. At least you're within that range. Sometimes we have the higher values and it doesn't achieve that exact highest value. Everyone who looks at this map immediately says, oh, 35 centimeters, when it says 20 to 35 centimeters. There's a pretty big variance there. So potentially right in the middle is where you're going to land, or even to the low side, or maybe the high side. Who knows? This is a crazy looking storm. So yeah, there's that. But you talked about Corunna. So Corunna, please let me know how to pronounce it. I never pronounce anything right. And then, I'm in Ontario, but I'll go live stream on our Alberta page and our Saskatchewan page and our Manitoba page. And I get absolutely obliterated by the community members there for my lack of pronunciation of every possible location. Terrible. Karen says, do you think power outages are possible? Yeah, it's possible for sure. There's been a lot of power outages south of the border. So with these strong winds, with heavy snowfall accumulating, on tree branches, they fall, that type of thing. It definitely is. Oh, I said it right. Brittany said I said it right. For the first time. We've been at this since 2013. We've been at this for like 9 years, or going into our 9th year. And it's the first town I've ever pronounced right. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. That made my evening now. That's great. So Melissa Bell explains it well. Where is it here? Let me scroll up. Did somebody explain? Maybe she explained how to say it. Possibly. Maybe not. Who knows? It's long gone. How about Cornwall, says Stephanie. Can't forget about our folks in Cornwall. They're all the way on the very far right of the map. Windsor's at the bottom left, Cornwall's at the top right. The folks on the edges usually feel left out, so I want to make sure that they know what's up. How about Cornwall? We get hit hard. We got hit hard with the last snowstorm. Sometimes our totals are higher than those nor'easters. Yeah, I remember that system that kind of swung back and you got the tail end of it. So that was very isolated to extreme eastern Ontario, but it was pretty impressive for sure. So Cornwall, we have you in the red. So in this particular case, we have you in the 20 to 35 centimeters. Eastern Ontario has been pretty tricky. You know, there's sometimes where we get feedback that the totals were under what we forecasted, and then like in the particular case of Cornwall there, I think the totals were even higher than we forecasted. So that's forecasting for you. The probability of weather forecasting. It's so magical. Let's see here. Snowing in Oro Medante says Cecilia? Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. That's a good. I should cover that sometime. I really should. That would be fun. Okay, so also bad weather in Exeter, says Nelly. As I try to click on your name, thank you very much, Nelly, for your report. Steve Cross says, what about forest? See, this is what I like, and I don't have it up on the screen here, but in the background, I actually have Google Earth opened up, and I overlaid our forecast map on it so that I could type in any town and like zoom right into it to see. So I will check out forest right now for you. Let me take a peek into that for you folks. Adam, is this for real? Says Miranda. Is this for, like, is the storm for real, or is the fact that I'm actually live streaming during a winter storm for real? That's rare. I usually just hibernate and like focus on next year's tornado season and how I'm preparing and development and, you know, the new tools that we're building to help us track tornadoes and all this kind of stuff. And that's usually where my focus is. But I thought, you know, it's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea to go live. But yes, it is real. It's all real. Okay, so what was I looking at? Forest. Yes, I think I know where forest is, but I'm still going to look it up in the background just to make sure. Give me just a moment. Let's see if I can zoom out. You might. I wonder if you lose my video from that. Maybe. But let's see here. Forest, Ontario. Searching for forest. Oh, and now this is going to be a tricky one because it looks like you're right on the edge between the purple and the red. But you know what? You're actually in the purple in our forecast map. So you would be in the 15 to 25 centimeter range, or 6 to 10 inches. Let's see if I come back, if I'm still actually on the screen. I think I am. Hey, cool. Streaming technology works. Okay. So Kathy says, oh, sorry. Wait a minute. There we go. Kathy says, girl, what? Okay. And looking purple for Owen Sound, says Lisa. Thank you very much. Can we compare this to a previous snowstorm, says Debbie. And she mentioned a year, 1978. We could. You can compare anything. Will it be identical? It's very questionable. Ange says, definitely appreciate the live stream tonight, and during tornado season, higher winds give me anxiety. Thank you very much, Ange. And that's what I usually like to play songs to ease anxiety. You know, obviously I like singing, of course, but I like to play songs because I find when I'm, you know, I've never been diagnosed with anxiety, but I'm pretty sure I experience it at times. You know, when I'm trying to read reports from tornadoes and I'm looking at radar and there's so much going on at the same time, there's a few times where I have to, let me just grab my guitar here and I'm just going to play a song and like calm things down. Those are, it's as much for me, of course, just because I need to relax, but it's also, of course, for all you wonderful folks out there, especially those who experience anxiety and need to calm down with a good song. So that's why I do it. I think it's a good thing to do, but we'll see. We'll see. I get some interesting feedback from it sometimes. Why is this guy playing a song when there's tornadoes? And I'm like, we have 10 minutes to wait for a radar update. I got 10 minutes to play a song. Kathy says, someone said they can't wait for tornado season. I was so confused. Oh, that's when you said, girl, what? Oh, yeah. Makes sense. Girl, what? Yeah, tornado season, it's exciting. You got to admit. I mean, it's where my personal passion is. My passion is in tracking tornadoes in real time. That is like, you know, getting the word out about tornadoes in real time to all you wonderful folks to give the most up-to-date information as possible. This last season, we had like, what, 43 tornadoes in southern Ontario? 43. I think that's the most I've ever gone live in a season. In one tornado, I had to have gone live 15 or 20 times. It was pretty wild. It was wild, but we didn't have many reports of injuries. There wasn't any fatalities in Ontario from what I can tell, other than, we never know, if there's car accidents that happen. Those would never be recorded as, they probably wouldn't record them as part of the tornado damage. It would be, they could be the core of the storm where an accident happened, where there's no visibility and people run into each other. And I'm sure those don't get documented. But yeah, that's what happens. Oh, let's see here. April says, sorry, late to the feed. Was Barrie discussed? Barrie is in the purple in this particular forecast map. Barrie is in the 10 to 25 centimeters, 6 to 10 inches. So, yeah, should be interesting. I'm in Barrie myself. I'm in the east end of Barrie. And we just get lake effect all day long, so we're just so used to it by now. This is a big snowfall for a lot of folks that haven't had some pretty intense snowfalls this year. But for us in Barrie, this is like a Tuesday. It's literally going to be Tuesday tomorrow when it happens. So Elizabeth had a good question. I touched on it earlier, but she says, what does it mean when it says a different amount measured for locally? So when you see, for example, in the strongest category we have here, you see 20 to 35 centimeters, 8 to 14 inches. It says locally 35 centimeters plus. So it just means, sometimes we're going to get a few reports from that area that show a higher than 35 total. Just because, you can have really isolated, strong bands of snow, and other places it lets up a little bit. So the majority of folks are going to be within the regular range, but there's going to be a few reports that locally can be higher than those totals. So hopefully that clears that up for you. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. Carol says, you helped me calm with harvest. I can't even speak. This is what happens when I do late night live streams. But you helped me calm with Harvest Moon song last summer at 3 a.m. during tornado warning. So thank you very much, Carol. I'm glad that helped. Maybe I'll play that song tonight. We'll see. But that's a nice tune. We'll see. I should probably play a song at some point in time. But then people are going to come on and say, we're going to get the classic, what are you doing? And it's funny. I can see how many folks are on the live stream. Every time I play guitar, that number it tanks. Is that a sign? That's a sign. Maybe I should probably not play guitar. I mean, when it's crazy, when there's like tornadoes left, right, and center, and there's damage reports coming in, those aren't the times that I usually play guitar. But when things calm down a little bit, I play a little guitar. It's fine. What are you doing? Says Miranda. I don't know. She said something earlier. I want to see where did it go? So many comments. I can't get to them all. Patricia posted a really good thing, which is 511. So you can actually see, all the traffic reports and that type of thing. That's a good site to head to. It's nice to see the traffic reports, and you can see all the traffic cameras as well too, which is great. Let's see here. OMG, I'm freaking out right now. Windsor is right in the red. I have no freaking idea. Will they be spamming snowfall warnings for Windsor? So I think Windsor is under a snowfall warning, but I'm going to double check that right now. I'm going to go out and flip back to our app here and just make sure if we have, let's see if I have it up on screen. Oh, there we go. Good. Okay, so let me just get Windsor if I don't have it on here already. I'm just going to search it on our app. Instant weather. If you haven't yet, please download it. It is free. We do have ability to upgrade radar and all that kind of stuff with a subscription, and thank you to all those who have. But for the majority of folks that just want to use it for free, you can use it for free. So this is Windsor right now, and you are in a snowfall warning. And the snowfall warning says 15 to 25 centimeters to be expected. Environment Canada, they can be a little conservative at times, I believe, with these types of storms. But a fair majority of the folks could get up to the 25 centimeters. So I think they usually put what they think most folks are going to get at the high end of their totals there. So we have a little bit more room because we know sometimes these storms can overperform. And for us, I think we said 20 to 35 centimeters for Windsor as well. So there is that. So that should be interesting. But please let us know. We always want to know what you end up with. Our app right now is saying that for Windsor, there's only 9.2 centimeters left. Again, I feel our app right now is underestimating a little bit. When it comes to these types of snowfall events, it seems to underestimate a bit. So yeah, I think our forecast maps probably maybe split the difference between the two, and that's usually a pretty good place to be. So I'm going to, there we go. We got challenges now. Nicole says, how about, I was going to say Tylenol. It's Tindinaga? Tyandinaga? If it's Tyandinaga, then this would be the greatest night I've ever pronounced anything in my life. So I know how to pronounce berry. Cheryl says berry. Let's go to Barrie. Now this is, why is it going to Alberta here? Hold on, there's so many locations. I have too many locations saved on the app. Oh, maybe not. Not that many. Okay. So let me go to Barrie. This is where I'm located in the east end of Barrie. Our app is still calling for 13 centimeters today and 1.3 Tuesday morning. So in total, maybe 14 or 15 centimeters it's calling for. That seems fairly probable. I mean, if you jump back to our forecast maps, and I think we have Barrie as 15 to 25, so it's not too far off. It could overperform, we'll see, but it's not that far off. Kathy says Flesherton, so let's take a look at Flesherton. I'm going to do that just in the background again, because I like seeing it. I should probably put this up on the screen too, this would be kind of cool, but let's see here, Flesherton. Give me just a second and I will let you know, as far as our forecast map, where you are located. Oh, you are just on the border. Ooh, that's so hard to say. You are perfectly on the border between the 6 red area you see here near Collingwood and the area to the south, which is purple. So that's a bit tricky. You are literally on the pixel of the border of those 2 areas. So, hopefully I didn't freeze that whole time. My head keeps freezing. I need to upgrade my video card. It's getting out of control. But it looks like you're probably in the 15 to 25 centimeter purple area, but you are right on the border of the 20 to 35. So somewhere between there. But let's go check the app. Again, the app's probably underestimated compared to the 2 of those, but it's good to compare them to each other. So I'm going to check that quickly for you. And I believe that was Flesherton. Okay, so let's search that right here. Flesherton. And yeah, it says about the same as Barrie. So it was saying about 15 centimeters as far as the app is concerned. And let's see, you know, I'm going to jump into the hour product here so you can kind of see. It looks like it's intense right now. And let's see, the winds are actually going to increase here in Flesherton by 5 a.m., 33 kilometer an hour gusts, which is nothing too intense, but if you're out there, the snow's going to be blowing around for sure. And let's see here, when is it going to taper off for you? It dials down to snow showers or snow flurries around 9 a.m. And let's see here, it says cloudy by 11 a.m. in Flesherton, so we'll see. But then it kind of more snow picks back up. I wonder if maybe there's some squalls in order for your area, but we'll have to see as this system pushes out what happens with the lake effect after the fact. So I'm sure we'll have updates on that as well too. So that is Flesherton for you, Kathy. Hopefully that helps. And let's see here. Robin is asking about Bowmanville. I can't tell if we are red or purple. So right on the edge there again. Okay, so let's flip back to that forecast map so we can see. And I will jump over to my Google Earth secret trick I have in the background so I can tell exactly which pixel you're on. And what was that again? Bowmanville, yes. I believe that is near Ajax, probably right in that area. Let's see. I think so. Maybe you're a little bit west of Ajax. It's possible. Yeah, it looks like you are on the... This is interesting. So Bowmanville's right on the water. So you're not actually on the edge of 2 areas. You're on the edge of Lake Ontario in our map. So maybe I'm still frozen if I haven't been back there, but let's see. Try to get back to the StreamYard. Am I still frozen? Maybe not. Okay, so you're actually right. You're in the red, and you're right on the edge of what we have highlighted there as Lake Ontario. So you're definitely in red because you're south of Peterborough, south of Newmarket, and east of Toronto there. So definitely in the red on our map, which would be 20 to 35 centimeters possible. So we'll see. Okay, so Collingwood is in our number 6, so it's in the 20 to 35, and I think that's probably due to the fact that there is some lake effect enhancement after the fact. So that should be interesting for sure. Everybody's got Donna says Windsor is 840,284 centimeters. So wow, that sounds catastrophic. And my thoughts are with all those who will deal with 900,000 centimeters of snow. Thank you for that update. I appreciate that, Donna. Let me just take that off the screen. So what about our... So many questions. Trying to get to a few different questions here. So Craig had one. He says, since it's right in the red, would that mean 15 to 25 centimeter per the legend that indicates what red means? Craig, our red is 20 to 35 centimeters. It's the number 6. So also look for the numbers on the map as well too, because we put those on there. So that was actually originally for those who were colorblind. We put the numbers on there so they knew exactly which region it is. But now that we've upgraded the colors, the number kind of really just helps I think it really just helps everybody. So, but the number 6 on there is the red. So if you're in the purple, you'd be in the number 5, and the 5 would be 15 to 25 centimeters. But the red is 20 to 35. So we'll have to see what happens. It's pretty intense for sure. Somebody says 3 centimeters in St. Thomas so far. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Mimo. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. I'm trying to pronounce your name. I can't. Please let me know in the comments how you pronounce it. I like it, though. It's cool. So it's, it could be Mimo? Mimo? Maybe? It says, London has not got much snow as of right now, but the radar shows it's over now. Are you sure? Let me just jump over to, I know we have a lot of folks in London in our community here. So let me just jump over to our live radar. And this is just using our iPad app right now. I'm sorry. I don't think it's over. It's definitely over you. Like, it's right on top of you, but it's not over. So let me just back this out so we can see the whole region. This is, this is a massive, massive storm all the way down into the U.S. So if I hit play on that, and we can watch it progress. So I don't think it's over. I'm not sure which radar you're using, but it's definitely not over. It is not over. And we're live streaming for 12 hours until it's done. No, I'm just kidding. There's no possible way. I'm probably going to shut it down soon. I think I'm going to play a song and then shut it down. But it was really nice to be able to jump on and answer a few questions, hopefully clear a few things up with our maps, with some of those U.S. maps we showed, the fact that Eastern Ontario is in Southern Ontario. You're in the Southern Ontario bubble. Anything south of North Bay is considered Southern Ontario. If you split Ontario into 2 halves, Northern Ontario being Sault Ste. Marie, Thunder Bay, Dryden, Kenora, what else? Moosonee, North Bay, Sudbury, that is considered Northern Ontario. And then anything from North Bay south, so through Muskoka, Central Ontario, Southwestern Ontario, the Golden Horseshoe, the GTA, and Eastern Ontario, you all fall under the Southern Ontario bubble. So anyways, yeah, it happens. Let's see here. Joseph says, 730 people need you clearly. Thank you very much, Joseph. I appreciate that. We're actually live on 8 different locations. And my total is it's actually at 1,300. But I think on the page you're on, it's 730. So it's pretty intimidating when sometimes when I go live, because, I'm like, live stream will start soon. I'm just sitting there and it says 5 people, 12 people, 4,700 people. And I'm like, click. That's always a little much. Karen says bus cancellations. Well, I have a map for you, Karen. That's right. I have quite a map for you. Let me just make sure it's up on the screen. I don't know why this is not going full screen. It's driving me up the wall. I got to work on that. But let's go to the bus cancellation map. There we go. You've never seen so much pink on our bus cancellation map as you do with this one. So hopefully that clears it up for you. If you're anywhere in the pink, which is a lot of places, then we're at almost certain. So we're not, we don't have any authority here. This is just our best guess. But a lot of folks, especially in the school boards, have actually told us that they really appreciate the help with it. So it's awesome to hear that feedback. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. So Jennifer says, this is a good question. She says, when it says 20 plus centimeters, what is the actual probability of actually getting that? That's a good question. We're not putting necessarily a percentage on there. I think the wider the scale is, so if it said something like 10 to 15 centimeters, the chances of it being in there are probably pretty high. If it says 10 to 25 centimeters, there's a big variable there, and there's a lot of things in play. So we usually try to give the whole spectrum of what's possible. I find that, you know, some others will put what they think is going to be the total, they put that at the top number of their map. But that kind of doesn't leave any free, you know, any wiggle room if there's an overperforming storm. So we try to put the whole gamut in there as well too. So what is the actual probability of getting it? Well, the storm's here, and the storm is covering most, if not all, of southern Ontario, at least by the next few hours. So what's the chances of you getting that? Fairly good, I would say, fairly good. You know, you'd have to, you know, look outside and find out. And please let us know your reports, because those are really important for our verification to make sure that we're on the right track, and we know, you know, if the performances are overperforming or underperforming, depending on the area, and we make those calibrations constantly. So we really, really appreciate your feedback. And of course, you know, if you can put a measuring tape into the snow, and that always helps as well too. So we should probably do some instant weather meter sticks at some point in time. I know Teresa's been talking about that too, and that would be a good idea. But anyways, nevertheless, so why wouldn't you lose heat? Pretty cold out. Sorry, there's just quite a few different comments happening. Thanks for looking out for us, says Jen. You're very welcome. Thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate it. Update the road condition maps. Thank you, Debbie. I can do that pretty easily, I think. You know what? Let me just pull this off the screen. The other way. Where am I? There we go. You have to look at a large version of me, which is, it can be painful, so I'm sorry. And I'm just going to jump out here and make sure I have, I think I have Google Maps in here. I hope so. Let's see, maps. I might have to download an app while we're talking here. I don't know why I wouldn't have it on my iPad. Oh, I do have it. Okay, good. And I can pull up the traffic, so that should be cool. So let's pull up the traffic and see what the latest, how the latest traffic is going. It still looks pretty green in parts of our area. So that's promising. Oh, never mind. It's getting, oh man. That got a lot worse as I zoomed out. Okay, well then let's try this. All right, so this is Google Maps here, and as you can see on the previous traffic map that I posted, it was all green across southern Ontario, but the storm wasn't there yet. So now that the storm is here, everywhere from Windsor all the way up the 401, traffic is slow. Niagara Falls, we're getting into some red. Yeah, it's getting pretty slow there for sure. So what else is happening here? Are getting orange all the way through the GTA, and then it's lovely and green to the north and to the east. So that's going to change. As the storm moves, I'm sure we're looking at a lot more orange, and hopefully not, but probably quite a bit of red as we track east. So yes, that should be interesting. Let's see here. Joel says 511 is good. So 511on.ca. So it's 511on.ca is the Ontario traffic source for sure. So is Windsor expected to get 35 plus? Solomon asked again. So it's hard to say for sure. Maybe there's a few reports out of that area that are higher than 35, but the majority of folks in that area are going to see anywhere from 20 centimeters to to 35. Anastasia says, how bad will the weather be in Burlington in the morning, you think? It's not going to be good. I don't think it's going to be very good. I think it's going to be pretty brutal. So, with the gusty winds and all of this heavy snowfall, I think it's going to be not the greatest situation for sure. So, yeah. When is the snow expected to slow down tomorrow, says Lisa. Lisa, can you let us know where you are? And then I can try to look through our timeline images to see where it could be for your area. So, let's see here. Okay, so what else do we have here? Barry, Lisa asked about. Barry is, I think we were on the, was it 15 to 20 or 10 to 20, somewhere in there. It's probably 10 to 20 centimeters. Our app was saying about 15, and I think our maps went up to maybe 20 or 25 centimeters. So we'll have to see. We will have to see. Samantha says, hoping the weather is okay for driving tomorrow from Port Elgin to Meaford. If it's in the morning, the weather's probably going to be not good. At least the road conditions are going to be probably pretty brutal. So Daniel says, who gets the most snow? Yeah, that's a good question. Somewhere between Windsor and Cornwall gets the most snow. Along somewhere, probably Niagara, but somewhere, along Lake Erie and along Lake Ontario. Somewhere in there, you're going to see probably the highest total, just because the storm is big. It's in the south. It's tracking to the northeast, and it's clipping us on the way by. Joseph says, what areas are permitted to use a flamethrower to clear the early layers of snow? I would recommend not doing that. And if you do have a flamethrower, hopefully it's the really cool one that Elon made. Yeah, that would be cool. This is not a flamethrower, I think it's called. That would be interesting. But let's see here. I'm expecting cancellations tomorrow in Chatham. Kent says, Brierley. That seems about right. I would think so, for sure. Sorry, I just joined, and you've probably been asked this before. What's the prediction for Hamilton? So, Deborah, we've had a ton of reports already that Hamilton is brutal, although someone on Hamilton Mountain said it wasn't that bad. So, Hamilton Mountain's kind of like its own little ecosystem. For sure. Miranda said, the app is great if you guys have any questions regarding snowfall amounts, etc. I have it, and it's very accurate and informative. Thank you very much, Miranda. And some folks feel that our app is more accurate, and some folks feel that our custom maps are more accurate. It depends on where you're located, because no forecast is perfect for everybody. So it's kind of nice to have those to compare between. There is our bus cancellation forecast, the pinkest it's ever been. This is the map we posted earlier that shows the U.S. Storm track that cuts off at the border. The storm's not just going to stop at the border, of course. Please extrapolate it further as it tracks that way. You can probably figure out where the color's going to be. Let's go back here as well to, let's see. Let me just bring up some of the maps here. There we go. I'll bring that map back up. Guelph Outlook says Katrina. Let me bring her up on the screen. And sorry, thank you very much for that, Miranda. I appreciate it. Guelph Outlook says Katrina. The Guelph is right on the border between the purple and the red. So somewhere between 15 to 25 centimeters is purple. And if you're just squeezing the red, it's 20 to 35 centimeters. So Guelph might overperform, but it's possible that it will be in the purple range of 15 to 25 centimeters. We'll see. Not much in St. Thomas, says JJ. Thank you very much. 2 centimeters in St. Thomas, thank you. Can you sing for us, says Lisa. I can. I kept saying I was going to sing. Do you have a request? Does anybody have a request? I'm probably going to sing one song, shut down the stream. Again, I usually don't live stream during winter storms because I'm in hibernation mode where I'm just working on all the new stuff we're preparing for spring tornado season and development and new weather visualizations and all that fun stuff I get all deep into. But I thought, tonight might be a good time to go live because it's been a while. It's been a few months, right? Yeah. Sing Collingwood, says Tanner. Is that a song? Collingwood. I used to work there. And I drive from Barrie, and that was brutal. Every time I got to Stayner, I just couldn't see anything at all. I could see nothing. I do like the Stayner bypass, and on that Stayner bypass, there are times where I was in a complete wall of white. I could see absolutely nothing. Nothing at all. No tornado watch. Yeah, there's no tornado watch right now. That's the name of our page. Sorry for the confusion. We've been around for almost 9 years. So I think it might even be 9 years now. We started in 2013. It's 2021. That's 8 years, isn't it? No. Is that 9? 7 plus 1. Okay, maybe it's 8. Let's see here. But if we started in 2013, I'm going to do some quick math here. So 2013 to 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Yeah, so I guess it's 8. Anyways, 8 years, something like that. Power to just says Alana. Probably, but it's hard to say exactly where. It depends on weak tree limbs hanging above power lines. It gets a lot of snow and there's a lot of wind in that same area, so it's hard to nail that perfectly, but we'll see. So Bradford is snowing. What do you think of the chances of internet being down? Oh, that's a rare question. We never hear that. I don't know, but everyone's going to lose their mind if they'll have to actually go outside and rub their eyes and like play in the snow. So that might happen. But internet being down, let's not even talk about it. That's all we have. You'll be 8 this year, says Victoria. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. We'll be 8 this year. Or we're turning 8. We're turning 8 in April. I guess our birthday is April 18th, which was the year that they threw that the EF1 tornado threw a roof at my car, and we started this. So, Michael Way Skinner, side note, I like your last name. I'm a big fan. And he says, snowing in Newmarket. Oh, I guess it's moving. It's going north. You're getting old, says Jane. Thank you, Jane. Appreciate that. I was so young back in 2013. Now I'm 37. So, although people live to like 100 now, so things are shifting. 37 is the new 40s. Wait, is that right? No, that's not right. 37 is the new 27. That's better. That's not the right. That can't be right. Kawartha Lakes is about the same as Peterborough. Anybody? Yeah, I think Kawartha Lakes we have in the purple. So you'd be in the 15 to 25 centimeters. Amanda asked that question there. Thank you, Amanda. Panama. Is there a Panama, Ontario? I want to know now. I must know. Let me know. Is that Panama, Ontario, or is it Panama? Because if it's like Panama, Florida, or Panama, the country, then that would be. I actually went there once. I went to Panama. It was really, really nice. It was hot. Whew. Beth says, do you even know where Chatham, Ontario is? We are in the Banana Belt. Yes, Beth, I know where Chatham is. My passion is covering tornadoes and dangerous thunderstorms. And Chatham and Windsor and Leamington and Sarnia and St. Thomas and London gets more of that than a lot of areas. So although Eastern Ontario has been very busy, and Simcoe, Ontario, or sorry, not Simcoe, Ontario, but Simcoe County can be pretty active for sure with the lake effect and stuff. But yes, I do know where Chatham is. Definitely know where you are, and you are in the 6 region, so you're in the 20 to 35 centimeters. So we'll see what you end up with. It could be interesting for sure. And what else? Oh, I was actually born in Sarnia, so. I have a piece of my heart for deep southwestern Ontario. Online schooling, says Carrie. Maybe. Mike says, 37-year-old, you look younger. So maybe 37 is the new 27. So thank you. I appreciate that. When I was 27, I looked like I was 12 years old. So I think it's going to work in my favor. Let's see here. They want you to sing Panama. Ah, Sean, you're a genius. He's a genius. They want you to Panama. Oh, I'm like, is there a Panama, Ontario? Quit messing with me. All right, let's see here. Yes, Sarnia. Bradford. We won't. Joel says. Hold on, where is it here? Wait. Janice is asking about Picton. Joel, hold on a second here. Joel says, this is funny. Where did he go? Joel says, we won't hold being born in Sarnia against you. Aw. Sarnia is nice, isn't it? I lived there until I was 3, and then I moved to Barrie. No, I went to Owen Sound first for like a year, and then I moved to Barrie. So there's that. I was born in Sarnia too, says Karen. Weren't we all? We weren't. Get to the weather, says Nick, and then laughs a lot. Well, where would you like? Do you have any specific area you'd like to talk about? I can talk about the weather. Let's go look at the radar. We have radar capabilities. That's right. Brand new radar. No, not brand new, but okay. This is our free app, Instant Weather. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. If you already did download it when we first came out with like the beta version of it, it has been improved drastically since then. So, I talked to some folks who say, oh, I used it, but, there's a few glitches and I kind of haven't used it since. And I'm like, well, we launched it about a year ago and we've made a ton of updates as far as stability is concerned, especially at scale when, we're dealing with a tornado outbreak and everybody's jumping on the app at the same time. We scale up to infinite servers now on Amazon. So we've made a ton of improvements. But here is the current radar. Right there, and let me just hit play and we can watch this beast of a storm move through the area. All the pink you see in the purple, that's all stateside. That's all south of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie, and that is drastically affecting New York State, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York, and our thoughts are with those in Pennsylvania, all the way down to Texas. Actually, the storm is a monster, and it's a huge issue for a lot of places in the U.S. So meteorologist Jason Brand, who is part of our team down in the U.S., he's in Mississippi right now, and he says it's pretty crazy. So I keep noticing my head freezing over here. That is frustrating, because all of a sudden I'm just like, I need a new video card. I have like a 980 Ti, but anyways, okay, I need a new one. I need like a 3080, that'd be awesome. Facebook user, which sounds suspicious, but it's probably cool. It says, the only weather app I follow. Thank you very much, Facebook user. That sounds kind of suspicious. But what's going on Keswick, says Karen. Keswick looks like it's in the blue, so you're getting snow. What are you actually getting is a very, very good question. I think you're in the, I've looked at that map so many times now. You are in the 15 to 25 centimeter, I believe, in Keswick. I believe. Bonnie says, dang, it's so cold you froze up. Yes. Rachel says, can we talk about the weather in Florida? We can. If we all want to cry. Miranda says, Chicago, Illinois, 40 centimeters and counting. Ouch. Jesse says, what's the most extreme number we could see if it overperforms? Probably that locally 35 plus for Windsor, because I know Jesse's down, and I believe Jesse's down in Windsor. Please confirm that. But yeah, probably about that, I would say. 35 plus. What's the most extreme number? I don't know. Some of the models look pretty intense. Bill says, put your hat on if your head freezes. Thank you. It's fantastic advice. I appreciate that. Jack says, will there be a snow day in Kingston? We have it at 90%. So cross your fingers. But we have it at 90%. Almost certain is the category we call that. So we will see. Debbie says, Port Hope. It's a good question, Debbie. Let me just see. I'm going to go back to our main screen here, and I'm going to search for Port Hope on the app, and then I will have a better idea of where it is, and we can look at it on the forecast map. So Port Hope. Let's search it. Port Hope, Ontario. Sure, why not? I'll take notifications. Our app says 8.4 tonight and 1.7 tomorrow. So you're looking at, maybe 9 or 10 centimeters. It's possible. We'll have to see for sure. Let me take a look at our forecast map here real quick, and we can get a better idea of that. And it says for Port Hope, wait, where was it again? Ugh, let me look in the background. Sorry, give me a sec. Where did Port? My head might freeze. Usually when I do this, my head freezes for some reason. But let me see. Where did that go? I've lost it. Okay. You know what? Let me jump back to the app so I can remember where we are. I was actually going to look at Port Hope on the radar to see. So let's look at that. Oh, Port Hope is actually there. Interesting. So you're between Oshawa and Prince Edward Island if I base it on the center of the map. Let me see if I zoom in if I can find Port Hope. Is it in here? There you are. Ah. Hello, Port Hope. Okay. So if that is where that is, then I go back to our map. I hit that button, and it looks like you are in the red area. So that would be the 20 to 35 centimeter on our map. So our app's actually a lot more moderate than that, but snowfall has already occurred, so I have to take it all into consideration. So the app is saying an extra 10 centimeters at this point, and our forecast map in total for the whole event says 20 to 35 centimeters. So please let us know what you get. Oh, you're in Hamilton. Sorry, Jesse. I thought you were in Windsor for some reason. He's in Hamilton. Now, Jessica is asking about the freezing. No, the freezing was all stateside. So we are all snow on our end. All snow. But the freezing was definitely to the south for sure. Milton, says Chris. Milton, I believe you are in, if you're south of Guelph, which I think you are, I believe you are in the 20 to 35 centimeter range, which is a big range. But there's a lot of question marks here, so we'll see. Miranda says, you get so sidetracked, Adam. We are waiting for your serenading. Ah, that rhymed, I think. Thank you for all the updates. You are all amazing. Thank you so much, Brittany. I really appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Thursday Storms asked about, Sylvia asked about Thursday Storm. I think we'll get to that at some point in time. Darlene says, what about Ajax? You are in the 20 to 35 centimeter range of possibilities. Fluffy, easy to shovel, says Daryl. I hope so. The ratios are really high, so we'll see. I hope it's fluffy. It would be, I think it's probably more on the fluffy side of things. We'll see. We will see. Song, do you want to build a snowman? Somebody wrote. Well, hopefully my head doesn't freeze during this moment, but I'll see if I can, you know what, actually, let me just bring this up full screen. And in the background here, I'm going to see if I can adjust something so my head stops freezing. I think I have my my quality settings a little too high on my webcam software. So let me try to bring it down and get me nice and fuzzy. That might help here. So let's go to high instead of highest for the quality. Let's see. That should probably help. There. That should be reasonable. I don't think my head's going to freeze anymore. I really should do that. I should definitely do that. Okay. Andrew Little says, I have heard that in some areas, or some areas could get as much as 40 centimeters in St. Catharines. Is that possible? Yeah, Niagara is, if anything is going to overperform significantly, it's going to be Niagara for sure. And to Jesse's point, Hamilton, you know, supposedly Hamilton's pretty nasty right now. So there's that. Jacqueline has a good question. She says, why do the maps never show Brampton or Mississauga? I am still unsure how much we are supposed to get. And a frowny face. So they do. We just have to, what you have to do is you actually have to click on the article and you get these bigger maps that show a lot of different areas. So if you notice, this one has Mississauga right here. And it also has Brampton. So Brampton is right on the line between 15 and 25 centimeters and 20 to 35 centimeters. So it's questionable, but Brampton's probably more on the purple side. So more on the 15 to 25 centimeters. And Mississauga we have in the 20 to 35 centimeter range. So there's that. It could be interesting. The ratios are very high. A lot of folks just see that first map we post and they never click on it to open up our website, and they never get to see that, you know, Brendan has, you know, put in some heavy sweat equity building these maps from scratch based on so many different models he's looked at and so much different data and observations and ensembles as well too. So yeah, so kudos to Brendan for putting in all this time and all this effort to build all of these wonderful maps. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. So as we swipe, again, we have all these different zoomed in maps where we have so many different areas highlighted. So hopefully that answers your question, Jacqueline. And yeah, please remember to click on the image, because sometimes that's not just an image. If you click on it, it opens up the link to our website, and then you can scroll up and you see all these different maps and all the different timeline images as well too. So I hope that helps. Sing, we have a bedtime, says Judith. Oh, fine. Fine, Judith. Okay, I'll sing one song. I don't know what it is, but I'll try. Probably a song that I always sing. Let's see. Should it be Bookend Vortex? Let me turn this volume down slightly because it is too high. Let's see. It is nighttime, so I could do a little. It's a marvelous night for a moon dance, with the stars up above in your eyes. Fantabulous night to make romance underneath October skies. And all the leaves on the trees are falling to the sound of the breezes that blow. And I'm trying to knead to the calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low. And all the night's magic seems to whisper in hush, and all the soft moonlight seems to shine in your blush. Can I just
have one more dance with you, my love. Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? Well, I want to make love to you tonight. I cannot wait till the morning has come, and I know that the timing is just right. Straight into my arms, baby, you will run. When you come, my heart will be waiting to make sure you're never alone, alone. There and then all my dreams will come true, dear. There and then I will make you my own. And all the times that I touch you, you just tremble inside. And I know about you on me, that you can't hide. Can I just have one more dance with you, my love? Can I just make some more romance with you, my love? Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you kindly. That was a little Van Morrison there for you. Normally I'd say it's an original, but I'm pretty sure you don't. You know that's not an original. It's Van. Okay, well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you kindly. I'm just going to scroll down. So thank you very much. Thank you kindly. There's so many wonderful comments. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. It's been a while since I've sang that song. Oh my goodness. How long has it been? I haven't sang that song since, I don't know, September? It's been a while, but it's a fun one. So thank you so much. That's great. Thank you kindly, everybody, and hopefully everybody stays safe. Again, please download our free app. You can't miss it. It's called Instant Weather. You can get it if you go to instantweatherapp.com. You can download it, and thank you again. Wow, Steve, that is ridiculous. I should have to put that on the screen because that's ridiculous. This is definitely not true. But Steve says, I like your version better than Van Morrison's. Have you heard his voice? But you got to go hear his voice again, and then be like, okay, well, never mind. I take that back. But thank you for your kind words, Steve. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So, all right, I'm going to shut it down, folks. It was wonderful, and hopefully I answered a few questions. Again, please click on the forecast images because they're actually a link to our website, and then if you scroll down, there's so much more information. Brennan has done these wonderful timelines, and Brennan has done these wonderful forecasts for us. So cross your fingers. It's interesting. It's going to be an interesting night. We'll have to see how these totals go. And again, compare between our app to the forecast maps to see what is possible for your area. So thanks again, folks. I really appreciate it. Miranda says, don't be a stranger. I'll try my best not to. And yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening, and stay safe out there. Bye-bye.